Where money, power, and history collide, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. How real is the paper money you are holding right now? Your answer will probably be, of course, it is real. I use it to buy groceries. But what if I told you that the value of that paper is actually nothing more than a massive collective illusion? And that throughout history, when this illusion collapsed dozens of times, people literally burned their leftover banknotes to start fires. Today, I am going to tell you why gold always wins, how monetary systems collapse quietly, and how you rarely even realize it is happening. And believe me, this story will make you uncomfortable. Section 1. Rome's Silver Fraud. Year 64 AD, the Roman Empire. Emperor Nero has a problem. The treasury is empty, but the army expects salaries. The people expect bread, and the empire must continue expanding. The solution? Print more money. But there is one simple detail. Back then, printing money meant minting gold and silver coins, and Nero did not have enough silver. So what did he do? He began diluting the denarius, Rome's main currency. In other words, he reduced the pure silver content of the coins and replaced it with copper. Coins that were originally 90% silver dropped to nearly 5% silver over the next 200 years. The result? Inflation exploded. Prices reached astronomical levels. Soldiers rebelled because their salaries were now being paid in worthless coins. The economic backbone of the empire collapsed. And here's a question for you. When modern central banks create trillions of dollars by simply adding zeros on a digital screen, how different is that from this story? Rome collapsed, but gold was still valuable. Section 2. Invite. 1 loaf of bread equals 200 billion marks. Let's jump quickly to Germany in 1923, a nation crushed under massive war debts after losing World War I. The German government began printing money to pay war reparations. But this time, it wasn't coins like in Rome, it was paper, and things spiraled out of control. Here are some facts from real photographs. In 1923, one egg sold for 80 billion marks. Children played games in the streets with piles of banknotes because money was worth less than toys. People had to spend their salaries within minutes of receiving them, because a few hours later, their value would be cut in half. Historians call this hyperinflation. I call it the death song of a currency. So who survived? The people who kept their gold and silver, because unlike the German mark, the value of gold in international markets did not collapse. Remember this, paper burns, gold does not. Section A. Pay Nixon's gold murder. August 15, 1971, U.S. President Richard Nixon goes on television and says, "I am temporarily suspending the convertibility of the dollar into gold." Let us underline the word temporary, because more than 50 years have passed, and it is still temporary. But what really happened that day? After World War II, the world entered the Bretton Woods system. The US dollar was pegged to gold, and other currencies were pegged to the dollar. In other words, the dollar was the world's reserve currency, and in theory, you could exchange $35 for 1 ounce of gold. But the Vietnam War and other government spending drained US gold reserves. France and other countries started saying, "We want to convert our dollars to gold." And Nixon panicked. The solution? Blow up the system. End the gold standard. The result? No currency in the world is tied to a physical asset anymore. All of them are fiat money, valuable only because governments declare them to be. And what happened after that? Inflation kept rising, debts exploded to astronomical levels, and central banks gained unlimited power to print money. Before 1971, 1 ounce of gold equals $35. Today, 1 ounce of gold equals around $2,000. Did gold become more valuable, or did the dollar lose its value? Ask yourself. Section 4. From Turkey to Venezuela, modern inflation cases, you might say. Okay, but these are old stories. So let's look at the recent past. Turkey. Between 2018 to 2023, the Turkish lira lost about 80% of its value against the dollar. People rush to convert their salaries into dollars as soon as they get paid. Because if they wait until the end of the month, food prices may already have increased by 10%. Venezuela, a country with the world's largest oil reserves. But its paper money has become so worthless that people trade with eggs and rice instead. In 2018, inflation passed 1 million%. Yes, you read that right, 1 million. Zimbabwe. In 2008, they printed a 100 trillion Zimbabwe dollar bank, its value around 40 US cents. The common theme in all three countries, governments said, let's print more money. That will solve the problem. It didn't solve anything in any of them. And in all three countries, people ran toward gold, dollars, Bitcoin, or any other real store of value. Section 5. Why gold? Why always gold? So far, so good. But now we must ask the key question. Why gold? Why silver? Why not diamonds or something else? The answer is simple, but deep. Scarcity. Gold is rare. All the gold ever mined in history would fill only one Olympic-sized swimming pool. It does not decay. Gold does not rust, rot, or burn. A gold coin minted 3,000 years ago still has the same purity today. Portability. You can carry $1 million worth of gold in a bag. Try carrying $1 million in cash. Universal acceptance. Everywhere in the world, people know gold is valuable. In Turkey, the US, China, anywhere. Governments cannot print it. No central bank can manufacture gold. That is why governments dislike it. But people love it. Throughout history, during every major collapse, people fled to the same asset, gold. Because gold never went to zero, not once. Section 6. The future digital money, or physical assets. Now, let us look to the future. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are coming programmable. Digital money controlled directly by governments. Crypto supporters say, Bitcoin is freedom. Governments say, CBDCs are necessary for control and security. But what has history taught us? Every new system said, this time is different. None of them were. Rome said, we can dilute the silver, no one will notice. They did. Weimar said, let's print a little more money, the economy will recover. It didn't. Nixon said, the gold standard is no longer necessary. Now inflation is everywhere, so must you trust digital money? Maybe. But history whispers a warning. Do not store all your wealth in a system you cannot control. Here it is, the real story of money. The reason gold always wins. The system was not designed to protect you. The system was designed to protect itself. Rome collapsed, but gold remained. Weimar collapsed, but gold remained. Bretton Woods collapsed, but gold remained. So what will you do now? Will you hold only paper money, or will you learn from history? Because one day, maybe 10 years from now, maybe 50, another crisis will come. And when it does, the same story will repeat. And on that day, you will want to be prepared. Knowing economic history is not just about learning interesting facts. It is a form of self-defense. And if you learned one thing from this video, let it be this. Monetary systems come and go. Gold remains. If you have questions, let's meet in the comments. In the next video, we will decode another historical truth. For now, protect your money and keep your eyes open.